first woe has passed. There's going to be 3 woes. 7 trumpets given to 7 messengers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Going to be off the hook. Going to be so much wrecking of the earth. It's going to be unbelievable what happens to this earth just from the first 4 trumpets. The 5th trumpet, it creates devastation. That's called the first woe, the 5th trumpet. So in verse 12 of Revelation, Yahuwah is being given the message from Yahuwah Mashiach himself. He's been given the message through the messengers. Verse 12, the first woe has now passed, but behold, there are 2 more woes yet to come. Verse 13, then the 6th messenger blew his trumpet. Whoo! Y'all put your seatbelts on. I heard a voice speak from the 4 corner horns of the gold altar that stands in the presence of Eluah. The voice spoke to the 6th messenger that had the trumpet and said, quote, release the 4 messengers that have been tied up at the great Parat River. That's the river Euphrates. The real name is Parat. Release the 4 messengers that's been tied up. They've been tied up, fam. Y'all got to understand. These messengers are off the hook. Verse 15. Then the 4 messengers were set loose. They have been prepared for that very hour, that very day, that very month, and that very year to kill 1/3 of all humankind. Lakila, appreciate that, sis. Did y'all hear what that just said? That's why I'm sending out the warning message about guard Yahuwah's signs. Because these messengers, there's 4 of them that have been tied up and they have been preparing for the very hour, the very day, the very month, the very year to kill 1/3 of all humankind. That means if they came back today, over 2 billion people will be killed today if they came back today. Over 2 billion people will be killed today that hadn't already been killed from the other trumpets. Are y'all kidding me? Y'all think it's time to play? Verse 16. I ain't get a drink. I ain't get me some blackberry juice on this. I didn't expect to give y'all this bonus work. Yahuwah told me to do it. I was going to close out. He said, nope, send them my warning. Because I'm giving them 2 signs. I'm giving them my 2 lights on the 8th, 4/8/2024. I'm sending you to warn them. Don't look up for any miraculous coming from that. Look up and guard and become my servant and be obedient to the Shabbat. Bring yourself into unity with me, Yahuwah is telling me to tell you. Verse 16, I heard the number of how many of them would be set loose that the 4 messengers were over. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? The 4 messengers were over. He said, Yahuwah said, I heard the number of how many of them that will be set loose. The number of the messenger's troops was 200 million. 200 million of these beings are going to get set loose on the earth. 200 million. I done calculated it up. I figured the number exactly. It's 200 million. Verse 17. And this is the way I saw the horses and their riders that were being set loose in my vision. They had breastplates that were fiery red and dark blue and yellow as sulfur. The horses' heads looked like heads of lions, and their mouths, and out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and brimstone sulfur. By the three plagues of the fire, the smoke, and the brimstone sulfur that was coming out of their mouths, a third of humankind was killed. So now we know exactly, if he came back today, we know that over 2 billion people would be killed from the mouths of fire, smoke, and brimstone, sulfur they're spitting out. Verse 19, the power of the horses was in their mouths and in their tails, and their tails are like snakes with heads on them that inflict injuries on whoever they strike. Everybody listen. This is the issue. Verse 20. This is why I'm pleading with the earth. And the rest of mankind, of humankind, that were not killed by these plagues, they did not change their hearts and their lives. They still worshiped idols. Isus, Jesus, Shira, Christmas, Easter Bunny, Halloween. They still worshiped idols and demons. They kept on worshiping these idols that were made of gold and silver and bronze and stone and wood. They just kept on worshiping them crosses and them church buildings. They were running in there going, please, Pastor, do something for us. We're not giving this up. This has got to be true, what grandmama told me and mama and daddy and all of them told me. No, they wouldn't give it up. None of these idols can even see, hear, or walk. But none of the humans that remained stopped murdering, practicing witchcraft, being sexually immoral, and stealing. They wouldn't stop. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, for the reading of your word, the real word of Yahuwah. Revelation. Hazum. Chapter 9, verses 12 through 21. Let their word go throughout the world, Yahuwah. I call all your servants who understand, those who hear you, to support your call. We utilized the increasing of knowledge, Yahuwah, called the internet, websites, SEO. We've utilized the power of social media, Yahuwah. We've set up a website called tsnt.org that helps us increase the knowledge that you've increased. Let it go out throughout the world, Yahuwah. All those who have ears to hear, call them, because you're giving warnings. You're sending two great signs, your sun and your moon, in the sky. And you said that they are to be for us to first and foremost keep and guard and obey the Shabbat. That's what you said, Yahuwah. You gave us your word, and more people need to know. And you can see the people that are hungry here in this session. You can see them, Yahuwah. People want to know. And how they going to know unless somebody tell them? And how they going to know unless somebody tell them? That's what we're asking for at tsnt.org, to help us tell more people, period. Support the greatest mission that's ever happened since Yahuwah Mashiach was here on the earth himself. You better believe it. I'm telling you, it's the most important thing you can do. There's nothing more important you can do. Nothing. Not even loving your family is more important than Yahuwah's word. They come after that. Seek ye first the kingdom and all his righteousness. And these things are going to be added to you.